Hello, test. Woof, woof, woof. Is welcome to check into the net. We will take a list, make a list of the check-ins and provide that for you so you'll know when to check in. So those wishing to check in, please call.
WA4LLR.
WB4ARK. KN4R. K3OS.
K1VVC.
November 4 Alpha Kilo and 4 AK.
WA4EVK.
K4JAL.
KZ4 Bravo.
W4MEC.
WN4 PFI. Well, that was almost a coordinated effort. Boy, oh boy, beautiful. Good signals and nice, or you almost checked in alphabetically. I guess that'll be next. Do we have any more check-ins? So here's the list of what I have. WA4LLR, WB4ARK, KN4R, K3OS, K1VVC, N4AK, WA4EVK, K4JAL, KZ4B, W4MEC, and WN4PFI. This is N4LQ listening one more time for check-ins. All right, Al, KJ4YEV will come after Doak, WN4PFI. Anybody else want to check in? So here's the list real quick. LLR, ARK, 4R, OS, VVC, AK, EVK, JAL, 4B, MEC, PFI, and YEV. Listen one more time. All right. Very good. Well, it's 85 degrees in Shelby, North Carolina, and it's been breezy. We had some a drizzle last night and a lot of wind. Kind of surprised me, but I managed to get the car washed, and it rained, but I had the car in the garage, so I tricked it. I am running the 32 V3 Collins and the 75 A4 receiver right now, and of course the horizontal loop antenna, approximately 100 watts. So let's go ahead and get started this morning, or this evening, WA4LLR, N4LQ.
Okay, Steve, N4LQ. The old friends WA4LLR. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pretty stout QSP in there. Anyway, we've got 76 degrees and part of Yankee County. And good to be on board with you this afternoon. The Harvey Wells TVS 50V, receiving on the HQ with a little help from the SB220. And it sure was good to see a nice turnout at the old friends luncheon on Thursday. So, buddy, down to you. WB4ARK, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR, WB4ARK. Well, signals are pretty weak today. Everybody is weak. Some weaker than others. The temperature here is 86 degrees. It's pretty clear. A few clouds, but not bad. And we had, I think, 0.1 inches of rain sometime over the night. And so that's it as far as the weather's concerned. Not much else going on. We're working some on the signal circuits down Duncan's track. Finally got things done. I got the signals all up and running, and we had probably almost a direct strike somewhere. We're not exactly sure where, but it was very, very close to the system and took out a lot of stuff. First time that's ever happened. So that's the way it goes sometimes. So over to KN4R, WB4ARK.
Okay, buddy. Very good. WB4ARK and the old friends. Brian, KN4R over in Sherrills Ford where it's 86. And wonderful breeze blowing out there. Nice and clear. Lots of people on the lake today and lots of military helicopters flying over today. It felt really, really good this morning. So I put in a garden and with the typical stuff. So getting ready to pressure wash the back patio, which is made up of pavers. And maybe I'll work on that tomorrow. So I've got some tree work to be done. I hope the fella contacts me. So Gary, how are things in Hickory? Oh, I'm on Globe Champ, 200 watts, and listening on a R390A. So Gary, K3OS and the group, KN4R.
Hey Brian, KN4R, K3OS. Afternoon, everybody. Well, sun is shining here. It wasn't this morning, but it is now. And I got some crazy signals. I was getting ready here to throw the more modern rig on and throw the amplifier on it, but we'll see if everybody can copy. I'm running the ICO Twins this morning. I'm a kilohertz off. The 720, 730 combination. It says about, I don't know, I gotta check my watt meter, 50, 60 watts. I think I miscalibrated the watt meter. Anyway, I've been working some of this is battleship weekend, work on ships. I worked, I don't know, 8, 10 of some of the ships that are out there. If you check your DX cluster, you'll see some of them are still on. I've missed a few, I just couldn't hear them, but been having fun just kind of listening to those guys. Over to you, John, and working them, both on CW and phone. K1VVC, K3OS.
Yeah, K3OS. In the group K1VVC. Well, Gary, you sound fine. You know, it's not totally strong, but certainly not too bad at all. So sounds great with the ICOs. That's it. And it was a busy weekend. Yesterday, I drove up to Asheville, the antique
radio museum had sort of a trying to dispose of some equipment that they had that was excess, and Ron Beaver was in charge of it. And other than some difficulty finding the place, had a good time, and bought a couple of things, mostly not radio related, more early phonograph and talking machine type of things, which is things that my wife collects. Had a good time there, and came back, and Boone will particularly understand this. My wife and I extracted honey from her hive, and I think we got a total of 65 bottles of honey. And as we'll tell you, it's no easy feat to do that, and bottle it and clean it, and it was a lot of work, but it's done for a while. Glenn, with that, over to you. And for AK, K1VVC.
Okay, John. K1VVC and the Old Friends Group, November 4 Alpha Kilo, and copying all signals this afternoon, some QSB. My propagation is Berkeley. Loudest signal in here today is Buddy, and that's a turnaround. So anyway, Buddy, your signal is boiling in better than anybody. John is probably stuck at mess, he's nearby, but your signal is really coming in. And glad you and Duncan were finally getting all the switches turned. I'm curious, how many feet of track do you now have on that system? I'm sure when I brought my granddaughter Sophie up years ago, it was, I can't remember, it's kind of a giant circle out through the woods, but I wonder if you've added to that same system. 84 degrees over here in Sunset, absolutely beautiful day. I am for sure on my antique radios, the DX100, HQ129X, D104, G5RV, about 100 watts as usual. So my project I've been working on is a TL922. I got lucky, the tubes are good. The only problem I have is somebody hot switched the band switch on 160 meters. So otherwise all the other bands are working. I was hoping for 160 though, for sure, Steve, but 160, somebody hot switched that one. So, moving it on down to my neighbor, Boone, WA4EVK, November 4 Alpha Kilo.
N4AK in the group, WA2EVK. Fine business, Glenn. A little QSB here, but I agree with the signal report that Buddy and John have good strong signals in here. I've got a fair amount of QSB. But I'm running the AF68 into the Swan Mark 1 amp, but today I've got the MFJ 1026 signal enhancer working and able to take out my neighbor's noise, whichever neighbor it is. I haven't figured that out yet. But things are going pretty good. Able to hear everybody and got some fairly good signals. Folks up toward Lake Norman or Sherrill Ford and Hickory are the weakest. Just propagation not being our friend, or my friend, I guess. And with that, I'm going to send it over to Jimmy. K4JL to take it, WA4EVK.
WA4EVK, K4JAL. Well, you're 5 over 9 here, Boone, and much better than a lot of people. Glenn was doing about okay until something blanked out the end of his transmission, and Steve, for the first time, he's got so much QSB, he's one of the weakest signals I've got, so it's pretty rough. I'm on the ART13 as usual, and in-fed half-wave, and using the little Drake receiver. It's 77 degrees and sunny here in Burnsville. It's been a beautiful day. I'm looking forward to getting my Spitfire back. We've been racing around in the Spitfire. So I don't know whether I heard the roll call right or not. I think it goes to John, KZ4B, K4JL, AL. If I'm wrong, correct me, Steve.
Yeah, you got it right. John, KZ4B, go ahead.
Okay, K4JAL and the group KZ4B. Jimmy was booming in when we checked in, and now I can barely hear him. I've got severe QS Baker here. I could not hear Brian at all. I mean, I couldn't even tell him was in there. And he's a mere 15 miles away. But so far I've been copying Steve okay, up and down from super strong to super weak. So conditions are, for me, very flaky today. For whatever that's worth, would like to report thank you to Cliff for the schematic for the LK500 ZB. I got to smoke test it today and it passed. No smoke, no explosions. So I don't know if it's going to work perfectly, but all the signs look good. So maybe before I'm dead, I'll have it on the air, probably at the upstairs operating position. Maybe in place of where I've been using the Titan 1 amplifier with the Alenco transceiver. So that's the situation here. Conditions are here quite flaky up and down. So over to Charlie. I hope you can hear me. W4 MEC in the group, KZ4B, over.
Yeah, KZ4B in the group. W4 MEC. Make sure I'm putting out here okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Everybody's coming in here strong. A little bit of QSB on one or two stations. Doak, on the check-in, Doak was the strongest one. He was booming in over here. See how he's holding up here in a minute. And we're running the DX100B and the SX100, which has developed another problem. So that's going to go back on the bench here eventually. The SX100 will have a problem. So I'll have to go and investigate that again. We got 79 degrees here. Clear skies now. It was raining this morning, and I looked at my rain gauge, and over the last 2 days, I only got 1 inch total. So ½ inch yesterday, ½ inch today. So that's pretty low, little low amount there. So for the normal rain I get. So over to Doak. WN4. PFI and the group, W4 MEC.
Okay, Charlie, W4 MEC. It's WN4 PFI. You have good signal here also. Charlie, here in Texas, we're at 72 degrees and partly cloudy. We did get yesterday, there were severe storms through this area, down around White County, and over in Lumpkin County, we had many trees down up and around Blue Ridge. So there was severe storms here. We got about a little over an inch and a half of rain in about 30 minutes yesterday. So quite severe. Glenn, I want to tell you the flowers around this year are extra pretty. I think. The rhododendrons and the native azaleas, the mountain laurels, and I know a lot of you have those around too, but they were exceptionally pretty this year. Let's see, Steve, I could not hear Al. I'm gonna send it on to him. I don't know if he can copy me either, but I'll give it to him. KJ4YEV. This is WN4PFI. Go ahead and take it, Al.
WN4PFI in the group. This is KJ4YED. I have not checked into this net in a good while, guys. I've been listening every week, and the conditions have been so bad, and noise levels have been so high. If I can't hear net control, I don't even try to check in. But I'm hearing everybody pretty good today. There's a couple of stations I couldn't hear, but I'm kind of like John. I'm hearing the more distant stations better than the closer stations, so but maybe conditions are improving a little bit on this band. Getting ready to go in the hospital tomorrow for cataract surgery. They're going to do the first one tomorrow and the second one in about 2 weeks. So kind of dreading the procedure, but looking forward to being able to see better. And with that, I'll turn it back to net control, N4LQ. This is KJ4YED, over.
Yeah, okay, Al. Glad you can make it. KJ4YV in the group, N4LQ. Do we have any more check-ins? All right, Mirror WF2U. Glad you can make it. Go ahead and make a transmission, and then turn it back to me.
N4LQ and the group, this is well, better later than never. Good afternoon, everybody. And conditions seems to be good. My signal is weaker than usual because I had to use the 160 meter NSET antenna. I had the AC setup ready with the other antenna lead with my 80 meter NSET, and I couldn't hear anybody. And I started to check that the cable was good. I went to check the antenna. Well, the antenna got disconnected obviously from the street that the others at the far end behind me, because it was all like tangled up in the driveway. So right now I don't have an 80 meter antenna. So headset with a GRC because the T195 transmitter in the system would practically tune up the wet noodle with its auto tune. So it tuned up in a second. It's putting out full average. Radiation might be lousy, but the radiation pattern. Anyway, that's what I'm using now. So I have to hang the antenna. It might be broken in the middle. I haven't checked that because I just ran out at 5:05 when I realized I don't get any signals except for noise. So with that, back to you. Obviously, you're net control. N4LQ, WF2U.
Okay, Mirror WF2U, N4LQ. One more time for any late check-ins. All right, well, Mirror, your audio was a little low at the beginning, and then I heard this little clicky sound, and all of a sudden you started blasting up real loud. So, sort of interesting what that was. I have no idea. And Al, hope your cataract surgery goes smoothly. And Glenn's sounding good on the DX100. The strongest signal that I saw was John, VVC, for a short time. He was 20 over, but that soon went away. And Gary's ICOs sound really good, 60 watts. And let's see, Brian, 200 watt Rock Crusher signal's doing fine. And Buddy, I guess you're going to take a while to recover from that lightning hit on the choo-choo train there. And Dave, your old Harvey Wells is sounding pretty good. on the 7584 here. Okay, well, I really did enjoy the luncheon. There were so many memorial events there, I can't even remember them all. I did see a few things change hands. I saw an HQ 140 move from one trunk to another, and a few small things that were kind of under the radar, but the food was pretty good, and we enjoyed it. Um, I think we've already talked about the Steppir, Steppir, the antenna company, discontinuing their ham radio line, which, that's just another example, I guess. But their beams were really cool and had motors on all of the elements, so they could change their length inside the fiberglass tubing, which was just awesome. Except there were some problems. A lot of people had to make repairs on them, I know. I thought the neatest thing was their verticals, where they had the motor in the bottom, and they just pushed that ribbon element up into the antenna, however long it needed to be, so it covered all bands with a nice low SWR. It's kind of a neat looking antenna, and it was fairly obscure also, blending in with the environment. So copied everybody here, some stronger than others, but it doesn't mean a thing because every few seconds the propagation changes. And must be those QSB winds blowing around out there. So, Dave, over to you for another round, WA4LLR, N4LQ.
Okay, Steve, fine business N4LQ, WA4LLR. Well, when you were calling the roll, the QSB had you down almost to the noise level, but now you're up nice and strong. So, a lot of stuff bouncing around. Of course, we do have a geomagnetic instability at the moment. Sunspot number is 103, solar flux index is 121, and the K is 4, which is unsettled. So that's part of it, plus the time of year and time of day and on and on. Anyhow, buddy, you are strong and steady up here, so no problem on that, and good deal on working on the railroad. Sorry about the lightning strike. Brian, sounds like a beautiful day at the lake, and the Globe Champ sounds good, and Gary, that ICO, I really like the way it sounds, and good on the battleship communication. John, glad you had a good trip up to the Radio Museum and picked up some things. Glenn, the DX100 is doing good, and good luck on the TL922. Sorry about the 160 position. Boone, the AF68 sounds great. Jimmy, good deal on getting your car tomorrow. Man, I've been looking forward to seeing you zipping around in that sports car. John, a lot of QSB here as well, buddy. And Charlie, the DX100 sounds good. Doak, I've noticed the same thing about the bloom. We got a really heavy bloom this year, and just absolutely beautiful, beautiful bloom. Al, praying the cataract surgery goes well tomorrow. And Mir, I think you're a little weaker than normal on that 160 infed, but band conditions being what they are, it's hard to tell. Anyway, I'm copying everybody, and thanks for the report on the Harvey Wells. It's a neat little rig. I've wanted one of those for years. Anyway, let's see what else is going on. Not much in the tinkering end of it. Been too busy with other stuff. Got Vacation Bible School coming up and other activities, so I have to wait till things calm down a little to get back to seeing what I can disrupt in the radio world. A few items from this day in history is right. I was saying 1955. British computer scientist Tim Berners-Lee was born, and he is the one who is generally credited with the invention of the World Wide Web. On this day in 1949, British author George Orwell published 1984, where we get the concept of Big Brother and the Thought Police. On this day in 1916, biophysicist Francis Crick was born, and he, along with James Watson and Maurice Wilkins, received the 1962 Nobel Prize for Physiology in the determination of molecular structure of DNA. And on this day in 32, Muhammad, the founder of Islam, died in Medina. There you go. Here it comes, buddy. WB4ARK, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR, WB4ARK. Just checking my SWR. I don't know what's going on, but I'll tell you what, some signals are strong and some signals are extremely weak. Dave's signal is got a lot of QSB on it and weak. And, well, Glenn has a good bit of QSB, heavy QSB. Charlie's got a good bit of QSB, pretty heavy. Jimmy, your signal is hanging in there. Pretty good, pretty strong signal. And I don't understand it. Why your signal and Dave's signal are so much different. K1VVC, John, I've never heard you this low, and QSB, sometimes I can't discern what you're saying. Well, K3OS, you're pretty steady. You're readable all the way. And so the other John, KZ4B, I tell you what, your signal is constant. No QSB at all. So I don't know. Glenn, we have 2,800 feet of track now. I don't know how much we had when your granddaughter was up here, but it's 2,800 feet now. So there you go. And lots of signals. Lots of turnouts, lots of excursions back through the woods. It's a big mess. And Mir, all totally uncopyable. I don't think I've ever had a situation where Mir was not copyable, but he was uncopyable today. It's really bad in some cases. So I think I'm going to say 73, listen now on to the end, but there's not much needing hanging in here. So anyway, thanks for calling the net, Steve, and hope everybody has a great upcoming week. So over to KN4R. This is WB4ARK.
Okay, buddy. Very good. WB4ARK in the group, KN4R. All right, very good. Well, interesting propagation. I'm not having a problem copying anybody. It was 100% here. Low, but 100%. And you're just booming in here. So I'm not sure, buddy, if I wouldn't take a look at that receiver or something, because I would think you should be doing better than what it sounds like you're doing. But anyway, Al, good luck on the cataract surgery. I've had both my eyes done, and you know, just relax and sit back and enjoy the ride, and you know, I'm sure you'll be in good hands, and it's, you know, the good thing is now I don't really mind driving, even in the early evening, whereas before I was getting to the point where I pretty much hated to drive all the time, so it's much better now, so no complaints. And John, very good on all that honey. Sounds good. I'd like to talk you out of of a jar one of these days just to taste it. I'm assuming yours is unpasteurized. So anyway, all right. Well, everybody sounds good. All the different rigs sound good here, and I've enjoyed it. So I'll listen until the end, but I'll say my 73s, and everybody have a wonderful week. K3OS in the group, KN4R.
Hey, Brian, KN4R, K3OS. All right. Conditions are crazy. I just stuck another watt meter in line just to see whether my calibration was right. It's showing about 55 watts here. Not surprising, but that's it. And the modulation going okay. So I'll I may just recalibrate the one in the Palstar tuner here. Trying to get them. Yeah, I hate it when you got all these meters and they're all different a little bit. But anyway, this is a little day one meter. So anyway, I'm going to bid everybody's 73s here, listen out, and hope everybody has a good week. Beautiful day here. Looking at the water. Turned out nice. Rained a little bit earlier. So, over to John. K1VVC.
Yeah, K3OS and a group K1VVC. Well, I'm copying everybody well. Gary, you were a little up and down. Steve was really booming in, and although Buddy was having trouble copying me, he was coming in here great, so that's strange, but what can you say? It's just the way things are. And I hope everybody has a good week. Enjoyed getting kids together at the lunch on Thursday and had a nice turnout. Thoroughly enjoyed it. So, Brian, as far as the honey, it was it came straight from the hive to the job, basically. Just a little bit of filtering, that's all. Over to you, Glenn. N4AK, K1VVC.
Okay, K1VVC in the group, November 4 Alpha Kilo. Good go around that time. John was very strong in here, KZ4B. Charlie, you're loud. About a year ago, your signals were way down, but now that you're back on the Heath Kid stuff, you're sounding good. Mir, you're loud here also, very good. Don't have much else except there was something interesting happened this week. I haven't been working all that much DX, but it's been some years since I've worked into Moscow area. Remember, fellas, if you're old enough, if you used to work Russia, you had the QSL through Box 7-3, no matter what. I worked a guy in Russia on Friday, had a fantastic signal, and you could QSL direct. So maybe that's been going on for a number of years, but I just remember back in the old days, every QSL card to Russia had to go to Box 73, I believe it was. So another interesting thing that I found out is when you, like through QRZ, you go into a map of the area where the guy lives, and the Google Maps are still in Cyrillic. In other words, the maps are not listed in English when you go to Russia. It's still in Cyrillic, so you can't read Walmart and Costco and stuff like that. All right, a comment on step IR. Yeah, it was a wonderful antenna, except the principle of keep it simple, stupid, and guys put these things up on the towers and had to take them down, put them up, take them down. So I've noticed, I think people got over that. So it's simple, stupid. Anyway, Boone, if you're still in here, I wasn't sure. You said you finally conquered your noise problem. So
are you ready for an electric joyride? It's just a few clicks away. Introducing electric e-bikes. Experience what it's like to feel like a kid again. And feel confident with the best-selling electric bike in the U.S. We have every type of bike for every type of rider. Shipped to your doorstep for free. Little to no assembly required.
Can anybody hear him? I can't. K4JAL.
Yeah, he's transmitting. I think Boone's done. Boone's broke down. All right. So I guess I hope he can get it fixed. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Okay. K4JAL.
Still transmitting.
It all, Steve. I'm rude on here a lot of times and don't mean to be. Boy, the signals have been wild. Sometimes it's armchair out of everybody, and then other times it's 20 over noise. Nobody can get over 20 over noise. So I'm going to say 7-3 and try to listen a little bit and survive. KZ4 Bravo, I hope you can hear me, John. K4JAL, over to you. Standing by and listening.
KZ4B, go ahead.
Okay, this is KZ4B, still not copying Jimmy, and he was coming in great when we first checked in. Conditions are really pretty flaky today. A lot of QS Baker. I never have heard Brian. I mean, I could barely tell he's in there, but I couldn't understand a word he said. And normally I can copy Brian just fine because he's only 15 miles away. So it's we're getting summertime conditions, that's for sure. And you would think as the evening wears away that things would improve, but they really haven't changed much since the beginning. So go figure. But anyway, thanks for calling the net, Steve. Copied you the whole time. And Boone was the strongest guy, so we've got a pretty good path between us. Although there is QS Baker on everybody, including Boone. But when Boone was at his strongest, he was walking all over everybody strength-wise. So I will say 73s. Hope everybody has a great week. And we did enjoy the luncheon. We almost got enough chicken livers. And I enjoyed the company. And so I guess I will say 73s and pass it on over to Charlie. And Charlie, you're coming in quite well today. With QS Baker, W4MEC and the group KZ4B, over.
Hey John, KZ4B in the group. Something happened to my audio, I can see it. I don't know, there it is. Oh, bad connection, hold on. I have to change that jack. Change that jack. There it is, I got something wrong with the audio cord here. I can see it working now. A bit too much, I have to back that down. KZ4B in the group, W4MEC. Boom, the problem came back. I guess we're both Blake. The problem from Thursday came back where your signal started breaking up and then it dropped down to very weak. Like you lost your power tubes or something going through your drivers, I don't know. And you stayed down there and then to the point that Steve couldn't copy, and then I think Jimmy picked it up or something, but something's acting up. I'd check the antenna connections and the TR relay and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so I'm gonna see. I'll hang around here to the end, but I know several people have checked out. But I'll hang around here to the end, and everybody's been good copy on this end with the little QSB, no issues, except when Boone dropped out. WN4PFI, W4MEC.
W4MEC, this is WN4 PFI. Okay, thank you, Charlie. You're still very strong here. Some signals that time went up, some went down. I did want to broach one little issue that I had back in January that I failed to get on here and mention, but We had about 7 or 8 inches of snow, and it warmed up just a little, and that snow started to melt. And then the temps dropped down close to 0 and stayed there for a number of days. I have a 40-meter vertical, and I started to show a dead short on that antenna. And after the snow melted, I went out and took it down and could not find anything wrong, but it was showing a dead short. And about 2 to 3 weeks after that, it started working properly again, and where I could figure out the coax, the snow melted, and I only had that coax about 6 or 8 inches underground. The only thing I could figure is it froze solid. I never had an experience with that before, but it froze solid. And I lost power, lost signal, or the ability to move that along. And so I read that there were some issues with frozen coax, that it could damage the dielectric inside. And so I dug that thing up and replaced it, and with some, and this was bearable. This is RG213 that was made to be direct bearable that I had, but I dug all that up here about 2 weeks ago and replaced the coax. But just curious whether anybody ever had some frozen coax that you couldn't get to work. But anyway, I'll listen to the end, Steve. Thank you for calling in that. I'll still be hanging around, but I won't make another transmission. But I'll just listen around for a little while. I've got to go somewhere in about 15 minutes. Good to talk to everybody. Sorry that just the conditions are what they are, but thank you for letting me join with you again this Sunday afternoon. Let's see, on to you, Al. WJ4YV, this is WN4PFI. I'll be clear but listening.
WN4PFI in the group, KJ4YEV. I too am experiencing heavy QSB here. Most I've ever heard of, huh? But I'm not everybody. Most everybody pretty good, at least happy, but I do wish I could get my antenna a little bit higher. This antenna's only 30 feet in the air, but it's looking at the trees I've got available here, so I think if I could get my antenna higher, it would help, but it is what it is. But it's been good hearing all you guys and enjoyed being part of the net. And I'm going to also say 73, so hopefully I'll catch y'all next week if conditions are conducive. So I believe that was Neil that checked in after me. I'm not 100% sure because I can barely copy him, but WF2U, if it's your turn, go ahead and take it. And Steve, if it's not, let me know, and whoever's supposed to take it can take it. But WF2U in the group, this is KJ4YEV, over.
Roger, KJ4YEV on the group, WF2U. Yeah, I guess it's my turn. And I could copy everybody. The only weak station was, let's see, Boom disappeared. So I have no problems with any of the stations today. Some stronger, some a little bit weaker, but since the receiver on the GRC-19, which is a Collins R392, does not have an S meter, it's just a relative RF input meter, but everybody is hovering around the half scale, which would be probably equivalent to S9 on a regular S meter. So anyway, I'm putting on 100 watts, but whatever the antenna radiates, that's what it is in case my signal is weak here and there, and of course the radiation pattern is pretty screwy on this band using the 160 meter NSAT. I don't think that's already right going. It's probably all going straight off or something. Anyway, so I had no problems with anybody. time to do some antenna work this week. And Steve, thanks for running the net. I'll say 73 to everybody. Have a good week, good evening, and I'll be listening to the central end of the net. So let's see. I guess the last thing here. Back to Steve. This is WF2U.
Okay, WF2U and 4LQ. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, Boone, you started clicking and popping there, and everything just went kaput. I lost you. So, don't you have some meters there that are showing something? SWR, power, plate meter. Take a look at those things. Something's got to be changing. Let's see. Doke, frozen coax. I just looked it up. It says the typical minimum operating temperature for coax cable is usually minus 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Minus 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Some, of course, are designed for better performance in cold weather, and for a Teflon coax, 130 below 130 below zero on Teflon coax. So yeah. Anyway, I'm glad you got it fixed. And yeah, let's see. I guess that's about it, Dave. I do have one thing. I thought Al Gore is the one that started or invented the web. I don't never heard of that British guy. Anyway, just a joke there. 73s, everybody. Have a good evening. See you tonight if you can make it on 160, down on 1864. And then on Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock here on 3715. This will be N4LQ closing the old friend's net.
Offers an inconvenient truce, Steve. 7-3.